1 in 3 people over 60 wakes up at night with stabbing leg pain. But no one tells you that the fix might be sitting in your kitchen. You ever wake up in the middle of the night and your leg just locks up? That sharp, burning pain shoots down your calf. You sit up, rub, stretch, breathe. But it's like your muscle forgot how to behave. You tell yourself it's just age, but deep down you wonder, why is this happening more often? Why does your body feel tight and tired even when you haven't done much that day? You're not alone. If you're over 60, those nighttime muscle cramps and that deep, nagging leg pain at night over 60, they're more common than folks realize. But here's the good news. They're not inevitable, and they're not just because you're getting older. In fact, a big part of the problem might be sitting quietly in your kitchen right now, or maybe missing from your plate altogether. See, the body doesn't just cramp for no reason. It's usually a signal. And some of the best answers don't come from a prescription bottle. They come from your grocery list. In this video, we're diving into the best foods for muscle cramps, the kind that actually make a difference for older adults. We'll talk about simple, natural foods to prevent leg cramps seniors can use every day to sleep better, move easier, and trust their legs again. And it's not just about food either. We'll look at hydration, the small, everyday mistakes that make cramps worse, a bedtime stretch you can do in under 5 minutes, and how to build a daily rhythm that keeps your muscles relaxed and your nights peaceful. You'll learn the truth about eggs, why bananas are more than just potassium, what kind of magnesium really works, and how B12 might be the quiet fix your nerves are begging for. I'm not a doctor, just someone who's been through it, who's done the research, who wants to share what actually helped. Because no one warns you how scary it feels to lose trust in your own legs. So grab a glass of water, maybe a notebook if you like, and let's walk through this together. By the end of this video, you'll have a real practical plan to calm those cramps, strengthen your muscles, and finally get the sleep you deserve. Let's start with something simple that might surprise you. It's not a pill. It's not a massage. It's breakfast. Stick with me through this video. This could be the most useful 30 minutes you've spent on your legs all year. Ready? Let's begin. Number 1, what's really causing those nighttime cramps? You know that moment. It's 2 in the morning. You're finally asleep. And then boom, your leg seizes up like it's being twisted by some invisible hand. You shoot up in bed, gasping, clutching your calf, praying it passes. If you're like me, or just like most folks over 60, you've probably asked yourself, why does this keep happening? Most people think it's just aging, but the truth is, it's not that simple. Your body doesn't just cramp because it's old. It cramps because something's off. Something is missing, and most of us never realize what that is. There are 3 big reasons why nighttime leg cramps hit us as we age. First, our muscles lose strength and elasticity over time, a natural part of aging called sarcopenia. Second, our nerves become less efficient. They misfire more easily, especially if we're low on certain nutrients. And third, our electrolyte balance, things like magnesium, potassium, sodium, gets thrown off. Not just from what we eat, but from medications, dehydration, and even how much we sweat during the day. Let me tell you about my neighbor, Frank. He's 72, used to love gardening, but for a while he stopped because every night without fail, the cramps would wake him up. He thought it was just his age. Turned out he was taking a water pill for blood pressure. Helpful for his heart, sure, but it was flushing out his potassium faster than he could replace it. No one told him. Not even his doctor mentioned the connection. That's when I realized we're not being taught to listen to our bodies. We treat the cramp with a quick massage or a stretch, maybe curse under our breath, and go back to bed. But we rarely ask, why is this happening in the first place? And here's the lesson. If we don't understand the root cause, we'll just keep chasing symptoms. It's not about patching the pain. It's about building a body that doesn't cramp in the first place. So before we dive into the foods and fixes, let's start with one simple thing that most people forget, even though it could make a huge difference tonight. Number 2, hydration, the forgotten fix. Let's talk about water. Not just any water, but the right kind at the right time. Alright, so let me ask you something simple. When's the last time you had a good drink of water? Not coffee, not tea, not soda. Just plain old water. You'd be surprised how many of us over 60 walk around each day quietly dehydrated, and we don't even know it. Dry mouth? Nope. Thirsty? Not always. But tight legs, muscle cramps, sudden spasms in the middle of the night. Yep. That's your body whispering or yelling that it's missing something basic. See, water does more than just keep you from feeling thirsty. It's like oil in a machine. Your muscles need it to contract and relax properly, and your nerves need it to send clean signals. Without enough fluids, all that electrical messaging between your brain and your legs gets fuzzy. Misfires, jerks, cramps. I learned this the hard way. There was a week when I was trying a new walking routine. Nothing intense, just 30 minutes in the morning. But every night my legs would lock up like I ran a marathon. Turns out I was sweating more than usual, didn't drink any extra water, and boom, my calves cramped like clockwork. Now here's the thing. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at sensing thirst. So by the time you feel thirsty, you're already behind. And it's not just about how much water you drink, it's about when and what's in it. Try sipping throughout the day, not gulping all at once. And consider adding a pinch of sea salt or a splash of lemon juice, just enough to help your body hold on to that water. This simple mix helps restore electrolytes, which are crucial for muscle function. No fancy sports drinks needed. You can even make a hydration habit. A glass of water first thing in the morning, another mid-afternoon, and one small glass before bed, just enough to hydrate, not enough to wake you up all night running to the bathroom. Here's the little takeaway. Cramps don't always need a pill. Sometimes they just need a glass of water at the right time. Now that we've got your hydration on track, let's move into something that's probably already sitting in your fridge. The humble egg. But believe me, this next part isn't about breakfast. Number 3, eggs more than breakfast. You're about to learn why this everyday food might be your secret weapon against nighttime cramps. You know, for most of my life, I saw eggs as just a breakfast thing. Scrambled, fried, maybe tossed in a sandwich if I was feeling fancy. But it wasn't until I hit my 60s and started digging into this whole muscle cramp mess that I realized eggs might be one of the best kept secrets for our legs. Let me tell you why. Every single egg is packed with high-quality protein. Not just any protein, the kind that has all the essential amino acids your muscles need to stay strong and repair themselves. See, as we get older, we naturally lose muscle mass. It's called sarcopenia, and it starts sneaking up on us after age 40. By the time we're 60 or 70, our muscles are weaker, less responsive. That's when those random cramps show up and say, "Hey, remember me." Eggs help fight that. One large egg gives you about 6 grams of complete protein. And the beauty is they're easy to digest, especially important for folks like us who may not eat big meals anymore. You can have a soft-boiled egg, a poached one, even just a slice of egg salad. Gentle on the stomach, powerful for your muscles. But that's just part of the story. Eggs also bring in 2 cramp-fighting vitamins that many seniors are missing. Vitamin D and vitamin B12. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium, and calcium is what your muscles and nerves use to communicate. When you're low on vitamin D, which many of us are because we don't get out in the sun as much, your muscles get confused. They misfire, they spasm, yep, another cramp. And then there's B12. Now this one's sneaky. It's essential for nerve health. When you're low on B12, your nerves don't send the right messages to your muscles. That can mean tingling in your feet, numbness, weakness, and you guessed it, more cramps. I had a friend, Judy, who started getting those weird zaps in her legs at night. Doctors couldn't figure it out. Turned out she had low B12 from years of taking acid blockers for heartburn. Once she added eggs and a little nutritional yeast into her routine, the zaps faded. Amazing how our food can be our fix. So here's the takeaway. If you're waking up with cramps, don't overlook the egg. It's not just a breakfast food. It's a daily dose of muscle medicine. Now, speaking of daily habits, let's talk about a sweet little fruit that's almost always sitting on the counter, but might just be your best nighttime defense. Number 4. Bananas, nature's nighttime cramp shield. You won't believe what one banana can do before bed. You know, I used to think bananas were just for kids and monkeys, something you grabbed on the go. Easy snack, not much else to it. But let me tell you, the day I ate a banana before bed and didn't wake up clutching my leg in pain was the day I started looking at this humble fruit with a whole new kind of respect. Here's the thing. Bananas are loaded with potassium, that one mineral our muscles absolutely depend on. When your potassium gets too low, like it often does as we get older, your muscles start to get twitchy. They contract when they're not supposed to. That's what leads to those sudden spasms, especially at night when everything else is quiet. Your legs start yelling when the rest of you wants to sleep, but potassium isn't acting alone here. Bananas also give you magnesium and a good dose of vitamin B6. Magnesium helps relax your muscles. It's like a gentle switch that turns off the tension. And B6 is your nervous system's helper, making sure the signals between your brain and your legs don't get scrambled. That's why a banana in the evening works wonders. I usually eat mine about an hour before bed. Sometimes I slice it on a bit of oatmeal. Other times I just grab one, peel it, and call it a day. It's simple, natural, and it's helped me go from waking up 3 times a night with cramps to sleeping straight through. Now here's something a lot of folks miss. Hydration matters too. So when I eat my banana, I pair it with a small glass of water and a pinch of natural salt. It helps keep the electrolyte balance in check. That combo has been a real game changer. And if you're worried about sugar, don't be. The sugar in bananas is wrapped up with fiber and nutrients. If you're diabetic or watching your blood sugar, pair your banana with a handful of nuts, which, by the way, brings us perfectly to our next food hero. Number 5. Nuts and seeds, small bites, big relief, tiny, crunchy, full of minerals your muscles are begging for. Let's crack into why these little guys pack such a big punch. Okay, friend. Let me tell you about something I wish I had known years ago. Back when my legs would cramp just from walking across the yard. When I'd stretch before bed, drink water, do all the right things, and still, boom, Charlie horse at 2 a.m. What finally helped? Not some fancy supplement, not a doctor's prescription. It was a small handful of pumpkin seeds. Nuts and seeds might look tiny, but they're loaded with magnesium, one of the most important minerals for muscle relaxation. You see, every time your muscles contract, it's calcium doing the pulling. But when it's time to relax, that's magnesium's job. No magnesium, no release. And that's when those nasty cramps hit. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, cashews, they're all rich in magnesium and potassium too. Just a small portion, like 2 tablespoons, is enough to give your body what it needs. Here's what I started doing. I'd take a little container of mixed seeds, unsalted, plain ones, and snack on them in the evening. Or sprinkle them over my soup or salad. They're easy to digest and they don't need any prep. You can toss them in your purse, keep them in the car, even have a little baggie by your recliner. And you know what else? They come with healthy fats, omega-3s and vitamin E, which help reduce inflammation in your muscles and joints. My knees don't feel as stiff in the morning. My legs don't ache like they used to after a long grocery trip. Now here's the little lesson I learned. When it comes to food and healing, consistency beats intensity. You don't need a giant salad bowl of seeds. You need a small, steady habit. 1 handful a day is more powerful than 5 servings once a week. But, and this is important, go easy. These guys are calorie dense. A little goes a long way. And if you've got digestive issues or a sensitive gut, try dry roasted or raw versions. Skip the salty, flavored ones. We're going for healing, not heartburn. Now if you're sitting there saying, but I already do all this and I still get cramps, then it might be something sneakier. a hidden deficiency that many older folks miss. Let's talk about it in the next part. Number 6. The silent saboteur, vitamin B12 deficiency, and why your nervous system might be crying out for help without you even knowing it. Alright, this one's a little sneaky, because it doesn't scream for attention at first. It whispers, quietly. A little tingling in your feet, some weird numbness in your toes. Maybe your legs feel heavier than usual, like you're dragging bricks around. And then one night, bam, a cramp that takes your breath away. I've been there. I thought I was just getting older, slowing down. Turns out I was low on vitamin B12. And let me tell you, that tiny vitamin has a big job. It keeps your nerves and muscles talking to each other. Smooth, clean signals, like a well-oiled machine. But when B12 gets low, those signals get fuzzy. The nerves that tell your muscles when to contract and relax. They start sending mixed messages. And that's when you get cramps, twitching, shakiness, even balance issues. Now here's the kicker. Even if you eat well, even if you take your multivitamin, you can still be B12 deficient. Why? Because as we age, our stomach makes less acid, which means we don't absorb B12 as well from food. And if you're on meds like metformin or antacids, well, that just adds to the problem. What helped me was simple. I added nutritional yeast to my meals. It's cheesy tasting. You can sprinkle it on veggies or soup, and it's packed with B12 in a form your body can use fast. Some folks prefer B12 lozenges or sprays, which dissolve in your mouth, bypassing the gut and going straight into the bloodstream. Either way, it's worth asking your doctor to check your levels. You'd be surprised how many of us are walking around on empty, wondering why we feel off. Once I started getting enough B12, the cramps eased, my feet stopped tingling, and weirdly enough I felt sharper. Like my brain had more gas in the tank. Lesson here. Sometimes the problem isn't what you're doing wrong, it's what your body is missing quietly. Now you might be wondering, okay, I've got the food, the nutrients, the water, but I still cramp at night. Why? Well, maybe it's your routine before bed. Let's move into number 7. The night routine that stops cramps before they start. And I'll walk you through a few simple habits that changed my sleep and my mornings for the better. Okay, friend, let me tell you something that took me way too long to learn. Sometimes the real battle against leg cramps doesn't happen during the cramp. It happens before you even lay down. Yep, the hour before bed is when your body's either preparing for peace or setting you up for that awful 2 a.m. calf cramp that makes you leap out of bed like a cat on fire. So here's what finally worked for me. A simple nighttime routine. Nothing fancy. No supplements that cost an arm and a leg. Just a few gentle habits that gave my legs exactly what they were missing. First thing, a banana. One small banana about an hour before bed. It gives you potassium and magnesium, 2 of the big players when it comes to keeping muscles calm. No, it's not magic, but do it daily and see what happens. Next, a glass of water, just 6 to 8 ounces. Not so much that you're running to the bathroom all night, but enough to keep your muscles from drying out while you sleep. Dehydrated muscles are angry muscles, and angry muscles cramp. Then I do a little leg stretch by the bed. Nothing fancy, just a gentle pull of the toes toward me, hold for 10 seconds, then switch. Loosens things up, sends a signal to your legs that bedtime is calm time. Now this part might sound odd, but it helped. Warmth. Some nights I use a heating pad on low while I read. Other nights I wear warm socks to bed. It keeps the blood flowing through the calves and feet. And for me, it's the difference between waking up screaming or sleeping like a rock. One more tip, elevate your legs slightly. You can put a pillow under your knees or calves. That small change improves circulation and reduces pressure in the lower legs. This whole routine maybe takes 10 minutes, but it changed everything for me. The lesson here, how you end your day matters. It's not about doing more, it's about doing the right little things consistently. Now, here's the thing most folks don't realize. You can eat all the right foods, drink the water, do the stretches, But if you're making just a few common mistakes, you could be undoing all your progress without even knowing it. So let's go there. Number 8. 3 common mistakes that cancel out your efforts. And believe me, I've made every single one. Let's save you the trouble. Alright, this one might sting a little, because I've made every single mistake I'm about to share. More than once. Even after I started doing all the right things, eating better, staying hydrated, stretching, the cramps kept showing up. And it took me a while to figure out why. Mistake number 1. Eating too late and too salty. I used to snack on chips or processed food in the evening. Thought it was harmless. But guess what? Too much salt and preservatives can throw off your electrolyte balance, especially if you're not drinking enough water. Your muscles get confused. They lock up. Even if you had a banana an hour earlier, it's like taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Lesson: keep your late-night snacks light and clean. Think banana with nut butter or a small bowl of oats. Simple, soothing. Helpful. Mistake number 2. Overdoing it during the day and doing nothing at night. Some days I'd feel good, really good, so I'd walk more than usual, lift a few things, maybe run errands all afternoon. Then at night, flop into the chair. No stretch, no water. My muscles went from overwork to totally ignored. And they let me know around 3 a.m. muscles need cool-down signals, especially in our age. Even 5 minutes of gentle movement or stretching in the evening tells your body, hey, the work is done. Time to relax. Mistake number 3. Assuming one day of healthy choices fixes everything. I'd eat eggs one morning, drink extra water that afternoon, stretch a little at night, then expect to sleep cramp-free like I was 25 again. Truth is, our bodies don't work that way. Not anymore. We need consistency, not perfection. It's the daily rhythm that teaches your muscles how to behave again. Not one lucky day of good habits. So if you've been doing all the right things and still struggling, check for these 3 sneaky traps. Because sometimes the fix isn't about doing more. It's about removing the thing that's undoing all your good work. Now, I know this can feel like a lot. Tips here, stretches there, eat this, avoid that. So in the next part, let me show you what it all looks like when it comes together. A real example. A cramp-free day that's simple, doable, and built for people like us. Number 9. What a cramp-free day looks like. A real example from morning stretches to bedtime snacks. Let's walk through it together. Alright, let's pull it all together now. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes I need to see how this stuff fits into a normal day. Not a perfect day. Not a health guru day. Just a regular day for someone over 60 who's tired of leg cramps and wants to feel steady again. So here's what my cramp-free day looks like. Maybe it'll help you shape your own. Morning, I start with a big glass of water. Not cold, just room temperature. Sometimes I add a little lemon or a pinch of sea salt if I know I was sweating the day before. Then I'll make some scrambled eggs, maybe toss in a few sautéed spinach leaves or mushrooms. That gives me protein, B12, and even a little magnesium to kickstart the day. After breakfast, a few gentle stretches. Nothing fancy. Just a little toe touching, ankle rolls, maybe march in place for a minute. It gets the blood flowing and tells my legs, okay, we're on duty. Midday, I try to move every hour or so. Even if it's just a short walk to the mailbox or stretching my calves while doing dishes. For lunch, I might have a salad with pumpkin seeds, some tuna or beans, and a banana for dessert. That covers potassium, magnesium, and fiber all in one go. Afternoon slump. I skip the chips and reach for a handful of almonds or cashews, with a glass of water or herbal tea. Keeps my blood sugar steady and my muscles happy. Evening dinner is light. Maybe a baked sweet potato, steamed veggies, and a little grilled chicken. No processed sauces. And I drink just enough water, not too much. About an hour before bed, I'll have a banana or a small bowl of oats with chia seeds. That's my cramp-fighting snack. Then I do a few leg stretches by the bed, nothing intense. Just enough to remind my body, we're winding down. No surprises tonight. Sometimes I use a heating pad on my calves if I walked more than usual. And yes, I sleep with a pillow under my knees now. Took me a while to admit that helped, but it really does. And you know what? Most nights now I sleep straight through. No jolting awake. No gasping in pain, just rest. The kind of rest you forget you need until you finally get it again. Lesson here, it doesn't take extreme changes. Just consistent little habits stacked gently across your day. And that leads me to something I wish someone told me sooner. Let's wrap this up with the truth that gave me back my confidence. So here we are, friend. After all the stories, the foods, the little routines, I hope one thing has become clear. You're not broken, you're not weak, and you're definitely not too old. The cramps, the weakness, the aching legs at night, they're not a sentence. They're a signal your body isn't giving up, it's asking for the right support. And now you know how to listen. Hydration, foods like eggs, bananas, nuts, and seeds, a bit of B12, a simple evening routine. These aren't miracle cures. They're daily anchors. They help your body work the way it wants to, the way it still can, because it's not about turning back the clock. It's about giving yourself the tools and awareness to move forward, without pain, without fear, without feeling stuck in your own body. And you can start today, right now, with one small change, one better choice, one banana, one walk, one glass of water, little things, but they add up. And so do you. If this video helped you even just a little, please subscribe to the channel. There's so much more I want to share with you. Things I've learned the hard way and wish someone had told me sooner. And if you know someone else over 60 who's tossing and turning at night, hit the share button. Help them find relief too. Because the truth is, you don't need to be young again. You just need to be wise enough to work with your body, not against it. And that starts with awareness. And you've already got that.